What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I just want to do a quick update video before I do some modifications to my Springfield Prodigy. I finally got this thing out to the range, got the first shots through it, so let's jump into it. So I got my Prodigy to the range, put about 200 rounds through it, and I wanted to go over some of that footage with you and tell you my experience. First shots through the Prodigy. I took this thing to the range, had quite a few different guns I was shooting that day, and got to put the first shots through this, and I was impressed. It shot really good. I really like how it handles. I like how it feels in the hand. There are a few things that kind of bothered me, which we'll go over here in a minute. I had minimal problems. I haven't done anything to this gun up to this point. Now in my next video, I do have a pile of parts and some more that are coming in that I'm going to put in this gun and upgrade a few things. In my previous first impressions video, I mentioned how the trigger in this thing was really stiff. I still stand by that. This trigger is very stiff for a 19/2011 trigger. It's nowhere near the other 1911s that I've shot. But on the range, it wasn't as bad as sitting here on the bench top. I didn't notice it as much while I was shooting the gun, and it didn't feel horrible. There's still room for improvement. That's some of the parts we're going to get into here in a minute. But it didn't feel horrible like it does sitting here messing with it. I really like the sights. The sights were nice to shoot. I did have 2 failure to feeds. Now that may be magazine related, I'm not sure, but the magazines seem to be running fine. But I did get a couple rounds jammed up in there, and it took quite a bit of force to get that slide back and get that cleared out. But that's the only problem I had with it, was those 2 failure to feeds. Other than that, it ran perfectly fine. One other thing that does drive me nuts about this is the disconnector. When you're manually racking that slide, it's almost like you don't even need the slide stop because that disconnector holds the slide back for you. I don't know what they were thinking on that and why they didn't fit that a little nicer or design it a little better. But that disconnector drives me nuts. That's one of the reasons that I'm changing some of these parts out. So let's take a look at some of that footage from the range. You'll notice when I stop and struggle to get those rounds out of there. So all in all, I think this is a great shooting gun. I'm enjoying it so far, other than those few little problems I had. Now when I did get home, I took this apart, polished that feed ramp, polished up the chamber, polished the slide rails, and a few things inside the gun just to see if it would smooth it out a little bit. I haven't got it back to the range since then. I'm gonna wait to do that until I get my new parts installed. One other thing that was bugging me about it is the slide stop. That thing is way too small. You can't get your finger on it. That drives me nuts. You have to break your grip to release the slide with the slide stop. So that's another part that I'm going to be upgrading on this, is putting an aftermarket slide stop in it. Like I do with all my videos, I will have a page on my website that'll have all the parts that I use in this gun, so you guys can go check those out if you want. I'll make sure I have a link in the description so you guys can go over there and check that out. I also have pages for my favorite red dots and reloading stuff that I use and all sorts of stuff that you guys can go check out if you want. Make sure you go over to ballisticallychallenge.com and check that stuff out. But I just want to do a quick range update, first shots with the Prodigy, and give my impressions. Let's take a look at some of these parts that I'm going to be putting in this to make this thing a whole lot better. So make sure you're subscribed so when that video comes up, you guys can check it out also. I reached out to EGW, or Evolution Gunworks, and asked if they would send me out some parts to throw in my Prodigy. They were cool enough to support the channel and send these parts out to me. I also have a Holosun EPS coming for this with a Springfield optic plate, and I'm debating on which weapon light to get for this. So leave that in the comments. If you guys have a preference on weapon lights, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. Like I said, just a short video on my first range trip with the Springfield Prodigy. Make sure you go check out the website. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and we'll check you guys on the next one.
Thanks for watching, and I'll check you guys on the next one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video if you liked it. We'll check you guys on the next one.